Hello everybody and welcome to the channel. It's Polyester here, and this is my second YouTube channel called Polypops, where I make videos about my hobby of collecting these Funko Pop figures here. So I'm still on a quest to find over a dozen of the summer convention FunCon exclusives. Normally these would have been figures that they would have sold at the San Diego Comic-Con and their shared retailers, but with no conventions going on, they sold them online and through the shared retailers. And Canada has been a little slow to get some of the shared retailer exclusives, so I've been on the lookout for these. So I went out the other morning. I haven't found any of the ones that are supposed to be at Toys R Us, which is about 6 or 7 of them. I'm still on the hunt for one from For Your Entertainment, and EB Games. I need some as well. So I went out a couple of mornings ago to find some of these, and here's what I got. So my first stop, I went to Toys R Us, and they only had one of the FunCon exclusives, but I was very happy to see this one. This is Nubia from Wonder Woman. Now, Nubia is a very interesting character here, and I don't think a lot of people know who she is, so I'm just going to talk about her for a minute or two. So she is actually the first black heroine from DC Comics. She's from 1973, and she is the long-lost twin sister of Wonder Woman. Hippolyta created her at the same time that she did Wonder Woman, and Ares kidnapped her and raised her to be, you know, very aggressive. And in the 1970s, 1973, in an arc of Wonder Woman comic, she crossed paths with Wonder Woman, and they battled, and then when Hippolyta recognized who she was, Wonder Woman removed her mind control ring from Ares, and then they both fought Ares together, and she turned from villain to hero. So this is very interesting. The figure is spot on, supposed to emulate her first appearance in the comic book in 1973 with this armor. Here's the cover, and here's where she removes her helmet in the comic book. And actually they were going to introduce her as a character in the live action 1970s Wonder Woman TV series, but then it got canceled. But Mego even made an action figure of Nubia, so they had planned to go forward with that, but then Wonder Woman got canceled, so she never saw the screen. But this is very cool. First appearance of Nubia figure. I was happy to see that. This was the only FunCon exclusive that they had at Toys R Us. I had seen one like the week earlier of Deathstroke in the Imperial outfit, but I wasn't interested in that. But they've been very slow to get the FunCon exclusives at Toys R Us. So after that, I went to Sunrise Records, and when I was there, the fella had 3 gigantic boxes of Funko products behind the counter, and I was like, hey, is that some Funko stuff back there? And he's like, yeah. And he's like, I'll probably have it out by the end of the day. And I'm like, well, I'm kind of jonesing for it right now. I said, well, would you mind to just at least crack one of the boxes open so I can see what's in it, so I know if it's something that I'm interested in, so that I can make plans to come back later in the day. So he was like, okay. So he was like doing some computer stuff, and then he dropped that and he zipped open one of the boxes and opened it. And I thought it was just going to be like, open it up and you can look what's in here, but no, it was full of all these packing peanuts. So he's like shoveling all these packing peanuts out of the boxes into the garbage can, and then he pulls out these interior cases and he pops a couple of them, and they're the Zack Snyder cut Justice League stuff, which I wasn't interested in. But the third box he popped open had Dr. Fate, and this one I had really wanted. I had already gotten, like, the day that FunCon launched, they had the Leslie Knope, Filibuster Leslie from Parks and Rec, but they didn't get Dr. Fate for some reason. So weeks later, finally, this Dr. Fate shows up, and I said, okay, yeah, I definitely want that. What time do you want me to come back when you have all this stuff stickered and out on the floor? Can you make sure you hold one for me and I'll come back? And he said, no, you're in here all the time. I'll sell it to you now, and don't worry about me stickering it. I'll just key it in, we'll sell it to you now. So I was like, cool. So he had 2 more of these giant boxes behind the counter, and I didn't want to put the poor guy through opening the others. So I said, just be happy you got the Dr. Fate you wanted and come back and see what's in the others later. I didn't want to like pester him anymore. He was kind enough to hook me up with this one that I really wanted. Justice League Dr. Fate's a super cool figure. Happy to get that. Then after that, I went to EB Games. EB Games also didn't get all of their FunCon stock on FunCon launch day. So I went back, and a couple of the items that they said would be arriving later were now in stock. And they're none other than Batman with the Scythe. Now this one I thought was a curious figure. I didn't really have a lot of knowledge about this, but then I researched it after, and it's part of this Death Metal comic book. And that it gave me a greater appreciation for it. I was like, did they just make up something that isn't even like comic book canon? But this is actually in one of the comic books. And it gave me a greater appreciation for other figures that I thought weren't canon. The Death Metal, Wonder Woman, and Batman. Batman with that guitar and Wonder Woman with that chainsaw. So I was like, oh, these are kind of cool now. I want them. So I'm going to go back and get those previews exclusives of those figures. I'm going to order them. But yeah, so we got this one. I'm like, yeah, that's cool. I like it. So that's a pretty neat figure, Batman with the Scythe. He's very pale too. So we got that one. And the other figure that they had for FunCon was this Dungeons and Dragons Xanathar, the Beholder from Forgotten Realms. And it comes with a little Dungeons and Dragons dice D20. See, oh yeah, it says there with D20 on the side. So I slept on the Dungeons and Dragons figures before, and I had a heck of a time getting my gelatinous cube. I wound up paying like $60 for it because it was so difficult to find, and I didn't try and get it initially, so it just kept going up, 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 and I'm like, I gotta get this thing. So yeah, I'm on board with the Dungeons and Dragons stuff. I used to play Dungeons and Dragons first edition, because I'm that old, you know, in my youth. So yeah, I want to get some of these Dungeons and Dragons figures. So now I got to go back and get these. I have Asmodeus, but I don't have the Mind Flayer. This person, I don't know who that is, so I'm not super interested in that. But the Mind Flayer and Asmodeus, I was like, yeah, those are cool. So I'm going to keep my eyes out for those. I got Asmodeus on clearance. So yeah, I'm on board with Dungeons and Dragons now. This Beholder's really cool with all the eyes and everything, and a stand to make him float in the air. That's a neat figure. So we got that. What else? Is that it? Oh no. So then later in the day, it's on my mind. I wonder what was in those other cases over at Sunrise Records. Let's go back and see. So we went back, and I said, oh, how'd you do getting everything out? He still didn't get everything out. It was like almost closing time, like 5:30, almost 6 o'clock. And he had all the figures stickered, but they weren't on the floor. They were still back behind the counter, but at least he had everything open and sorted and priced. So I was like, what else did he have? So he showed me, he's like, we got TLC and some more of the Zack Snyder cut of Justice League. And then he says, we got this. Did you want this? And this is Leech. This is a store exclusive. I can't remember where it's exclusive to. I'll pop it up here on the screen. I don't remember. It's a store exclusive somewhere. It's probably, you know what? It's probably a For Your Entertainment exclusive, because Sunrise Records owns For Your Entertainment, but it's weird that it doesn't have an FYE sticker. It has a special edition sticker. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. But yeah, I was like, oh yeah, I definitely want to get that. And it wasn't priced any higher. It was regular price, $14.99 is what they regularly charge for a figure at Sunrise. So I was like, yeah, I definitely want that. And they had a special. If you buy 2 regular price figures, which this is one, since it's $14.99, you get 2 figures for $25, $12.50 a piece. So I was like, yeah, okay. So then I said, what else did you get? And he says, well, we got this. And I was like, oh my goodness, yes, I want that. This is the new sculpt for Leatherface from the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. In this one, he has the chainsaw. So this was the second figure that I got both of those for $25 on the 2 for $25 deal. And this figure goes with the Hot Topic exclusive Leatherface that I got a few days prior. This is Leatherface with the hammer. This is what in the Dead by Daylight world we would call this M1 Leatherface, Mouse 1 Leatherface, and this is Mouse 2 Leatherface with the chainsaw. So yeah, I had to get those. They look really cool together. I got to do something with my lighting My glare is causing a problem. We got to adjust this lighting. Or I need to figure out how to hold the figures better. Maybe I just need to figure out how to hold the figures better. All right, so we have M1, M2, Mouse 1, Mouse 2, Leatherface here, hammer and chainsaw to complete that. Those look great. Very happy to see this new sculpt for Leatherface. I was like, oh, they're gonna redo Leatherface, but it's a superior sculpt. So I'm like, yeah, that looks good. So that was my quest, and you know what? I just got tired of waiting for Toys R Us to get more of these FunCon exclusives, so I ordered the final 9 FunCon exclusives that I was still looking for. I ordered them from Pop Culture in Australia. Now, when FunCon started, all of the FunCon exclusives on Pop Culture were regionally restricted, which means that there were parts of the world that they were not legally allowed to mail them to. So every figure that I wanted from FunCon that I was missing, they couldn't mail it to Canada or the United States. Now suddenly, just the other day, they removed the restriction to mail to Canada. So I was like, whoa, good news for me. Okay, boom, 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 boom. And I wound up getting 9 exclusives that I needed for $21 Canadian a piece. Now, Dr. Fate, I paid $20 for that at the store. So, you know, plus tax, we have 13% sales tax here in Canada. So I'm paying more for Dr. Fate than they're charging me for it in Australia. And I wound up getting like 8 or 9 figures shipped for $27 Canadian. So I'm like, whatever, for the extra couple of bucks per figure, just to be able to get them all and not be burning gas, going back and forth and coming away empty-handed from Toys R Us. I said, do it, ship them all to me. So hopefully in a few weeks, I'll have another video cracking open a whole case of the final FunCon exclusives that I need. So I'm pretty excited about that. All right, so that's all I have for you today. Thank you so very much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Ring that bell so you don't miss the next video, and we'll see you next time. Have a great day, everybody. Bye-bye.